Hi, sixth graders. So today we're going to talk about your topic for your nonfiction book. Remember, you get to be the nonfiction author for the rest of this unit. And so we have to pick what format you want to write your book in. We'll talk about topics and what you're going to focus on in just a little bit. But you have to decide, do you want to write like a nonfiction book? If you do, that's what you're seeing in column 1 over here. If you want to create a nonfiction book, we have a template for you. And it has several pages with introductions, spaces for captions, and lines so that you can write your text and divide it up into subgroups however you want. There are places for headings, all sorts of things to help you be a successful author of a nonfiction book. So you will create one with this template. If you have something different in mind or you want to add something to this, you can definitely tweak it and make it your own, but this is a good place to start. You can add on from here. So you have that template. If you would like to make a cookbook, that's in column 2, and this is a spot where you're going to share some family recipes with us. So the cookbook only has 3 to 5 recipes inside. You get a template that looks like this. You have to design the cover of your cookbook and decide what that's going to look like. Inside, there's a space for pictures, ingredients, how many people does it serve, how long does it take to prep it, the directions, and then what's a little story that you have about your recipe. And so the recipe cookbook has not as many pages as a nonfiction book, but it has just as much work that is required of the author because you have to cook the recipes probably at your house or maybe at school, because we do have a kitchen here and we could probably use Mrs. Merritt's kitchen. And you have to take pictures of your work and print your pictures, hopefully in color, and then put them in your cookbook. And so there is some photography work that goes with this that you would need to do, but this is what it would look like if you were going to start your cookbook. Again, you can add on and tweak it how you want, but that's a good basis to start from. Our third option over here in the third column is the magazine article. So if you would like to write a magazine article for your nonfiction text, it's going to look something like this. I've assembled a copy. I'm going to leave room for my title of my nonfiction article at the top. There's room for text, captions, pictures, graphics, headings, and amazing facts and sidebars. It goes all the way down several pages. And then on the back, you get to create like your magazine cover. And then we need to know a little bit of information about you as the author. And so your magazine article might look like something like this when you are planning and preparing to start writing that. So you have some options today. So let's talk about topics. Once you know which type of book you want to create, you can start thinking about your topic and your purpose for writing it. So I'm going to pop out of this screen here and show you an anchor chart about author's purpose. Now, if you remember a long time ago, maybe in elementary, you may have talked about author's purpose and the acronym PIE, P-I-E, and figuring out the author's purpose can sometimes be easy as pie. So what is your purpose for writing your nonfiction text? Are you trying to persuade people and convince them to do something? Is it that kind of writing? Are you informing people and you want to teach something and give them information? Are you trying to entertain people? And that would be something like a comic, a joke book, maybe a picture book for children. You're trying to entertain and keep them busy and let them enjoy just like a narrative, a story, chapter books, that sort of thing. So what is our purpose for writing? And then once I figure that out, I'm going to dive even deeper into the purpose because there are some more questions to think about and answer before you begin your text. So when I say author's purpose is PIE, P-I-E, my writing, I think is going to be to inform people because it's nonfiction and it's an informational text. So I'm going to inform people about a certain topic. And when I think about things that I like, I want writers write about things that they like, things that they're interested in. So when I think about what are my interests, the top thing that comes to mind is travel. I love travel and I want to see different places around the world, and I don't want to just be stuck in Michigan, but maybe sometimes I am stuck here. We can't travel right now. There are travel bans going to other countries because of the pandemic, and so even though I love travel, I can't. But if I write about it and I research it, that's going to keep me pretty happy too. And I want people to know that there are so many places in the United States and around the world that you have access to. And when the borders do open up, we can travel different places. And so I think travel is a great topic to teach people about. So With that being said, my topic is travel, but I need to get even narrower, and I'm going to specify a specific place. So I went to our Mackinac Trail Library, and I started browsing the nonfiction section, which is quite large. There are a lot of nonfiction books here with a ton of different topics. There's cars, trucks, mechanics, electrical, babysitting, careers, different places around the world. There are things that happen in life, child abuse, slavery, so some historical things. There's biographies if I want to study people. There are so many topics in our nonfiction section in Mackinac Trail Library. So you can go there. You can also go to our classroom. We have a big library in the classroom. But I knew I wanted to write about travel, and I ironically don't have a lot of travel books in our classroom. I need to work on that. So in the Mack Trail Library, I went to an atlas. Atlases give me maps and information about places around the world. And I was thinking, okay, there are so many options for travel. What do I want to write about? And I ended up perusing some of the pages, and there are a lot of interesting places. But one place I really want to go, and I would really, truly like to plan a trip there someday, is Australia, specifically the Great Barrier Reef. So I wanted to know if this atlas had any information about the Great Barrier Reef. So I went to the back of the atlas, and I went to the glossary, and I looked up in alphabetical order GRE for Great Barrier Reef, and I found it, and there are several pages about the Great Barrier Reef. And at first glance, it doesn't give me a ton of information, but it's going to help definitely kick off my research for my own nonfiction book that I'm about to write. I chose the book. So my topic is going to be Great Barrier Reef with a specific focus on different things from there. So I said I wanted to inform people. I'm going to inform them on a variety of things that I think are important when you travel. So how do you get there? What are the costs? What is it like if I travel by plane or train or car? Do I need multiple modes of transportation to get there? Will one get me there? What kind of things do I need? Do I need a passport? Do I need an enhanced driver's license? So I'm going to talk about how to get there. And then once we are there, I want to teach people about the things that are unique to that location. So what is it like there? What's the geography like? What's the landscape like? What are the people like? How about the food? When I go to new places, the food is always an interesting thing to explore. So what's the food like? What are some landmarks or national parks or interesting places that people visit when they are there? What are some things that they do? So I will probably work to really make my book divided up into different sections, and I imagine that I'm going to have some subheadings for the Great Barrier Reef and tell all about traveling there and the documentation that people need to go outside of the United States to get there or from other countries there. I'm going to talk about the people, the landscape and the geography. We'll talk about the food and interesting places to go when you are there. What are the landmarks and places? And so I'll probably divide up my book into those different subheadings. And so I need to start gathering research that shows me all of those things. So my first piece of research is starting with the atlas. I'll get what I can out of here, but then I need to keep going. So let's take a look at our planning guide. I'm going to pop out of the screen again and go to my planning guide and decide, what do I need? What is my purpose? What am I doing here? So let's make this bigger. And it says make a plan. Here's our expectations. Writers must choose one publishing option. Please complete it on time. Whatever option you choose, you have to put a lot of time, thought, and effort into providing 6th grade level responses to demonstrate that you can write informational text using non-fictional text features. So if you need materials, please ask your teachers. Let's be prepared to work hard and meet the timelines and expectations for this project. No matter what option you choose, you'll need to turn it in by the due date for your classmates to check out your project. So we'll let you know what that due date is, but I guarantee you'll have at least 3 weeks to work on this project and get it completed before we have our book cafe where we publish and share our books, enjoy some snacks and fun treats as we enjoy people's final published books. So let's make a plan. What is your choice? I need you to highlight one. If you're not here at school today, you are going to get a Google slide. When you click next, you'll get a Google slide assignment, and it will have you write right on this document. So highlight one, use the highlight tool. Do you want a book, a cookbook, or a magazine article? Then what is your topic, and be specific. If you choose dogs, maybe your whole book is about dogs, but maybe it's about just German Shepherds. Or maybe your book is about dogs and then you'll have different pages for different types of dogs. So think about what you want to focus on specifically. I am going with travel with a specific focus on the Great Barrier Reef. That's mine. What's the purpose of your nonfiction writing? Think about PIE, P-I-E. Are you persuading, informing, or entertaining? Well, my nonfiction travel book is going to inform people about different aspects of the Great Barrier Reef. And so here's what we are working on. Look at the bottom of this slide for all of the standards that we need to make sure that we're mastering in 6th grade. Can you write routinely over extended time frames? Can you work on this day after day after day and make it a nice complete project? Can you write informative texts that examine a topic? So can you write a nonfiction text? Can you revise and edit with your peers and teachers? It's not just one and done. Once we write our text and we share our information, then we have to revise, add more, get feedback, and then go from there. And so it's a process from beginning to end. Can you conduct short research? Like I said, the Atlas is not the only place I'm going to go for information about the Great Barrier Reef. It's a start, but I'm going to have to go to the internet. I need more books. I might even have some magazines at home because I have travel magazines there. And I could probably find some information from more than one source, which you will need to do too. So can you conduct short research and take notes so you don't lose any of the information that you want to put in? And then, like we said, you need multiple sources, not just one book, but you can go to many places to find the information you need. And then you'll want to have some paper available and start taking notes when you research so you don't lose and forget your information that's really valuable. So today is all about making a plan. What do you want to do? And what is your specific topic? So would you please make sure that you complete this plan today? And before you complete your plan, you might need to think about it a little bit. Writers don't just dive right into things. You need to think, what is your topic? What's your specific focus? If you're at home, I understand you don't have the library or the classroom library available to you, but you do have the list of topics here on your planning guide in your choice board, and you can decide if one of these fits your needs. And then if you have any questions, please email me. By the end of class today, you should have submitted your plan for your nonfiction book. And then you should be checking your email and checking your Google Docs to see if we have left you any comments about that so that you get started on the right path with this project. So I hope you have a ton of fun. I cannot wait to write about one of my dream vacations, the Great Barrier Reef. And I cannot wait to see what interests you and what you're going to write about as well. So I'll let you go ahead and get started. And if you have any questions, email us. Okay, thank you. Goodbye, you guys.